Well, global stocks soared over 13% in November. That's the greatest monthly gain in its history. In the US, small caps were the best performers in November. It was their best month ever, soaring to new record high. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average had its best month since January of 1987. Even though the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 were the laggards, they still rose over 10%, and with Tesla being added to the S&P 500 soon, the index may continue upward. But here's my problem. We have coronavirus cases out the yin yang. We have more deaths, and ICU hospitalizations are exploding higher. With all this, we're going to have to cancel Christmas. Moreover, U.S. macro data is rolling over fast. Bonds know this vaccine ain't coming to you or me anytime soon, and there's no big stimulus set to go. And all of this explains why stocks are at record highs. Whatever you do, don't get caught in all of the chaos. And so, what is an investor to do? Look at the charts, of course. If you're willing, we're going to go through all three charts, the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. This is the 20-year monthly on the spiders, the SPY, and you can see here we're at near record territory. Now, that's a double-edged sword. We're at a record high, but at the same time, we can fall from that high. Moving on down here, you can see that volume is unimpressive. Into the MAC, again, the MAC looks great. We're at this high here. Going back 20 years or more, we haven't been higher. We're at 17.092, and that's great. And there's a nice separation between the fast line and the slow line here, and it looks like we're going to continue on up, but at the same time, we're pretty lofty, and we can fall from there. Moving into the histogram, pretty much the same thing. We're at this high here, and we may peak at that point there, which is similar, perhaps here. But looking at both of these times, they led to some downturns. Into the price rate of change, we're moving into a double top there and maybe here. And that's pretty dangerous too. Once again, you don't find any highs that are above this level. So we can fall. Moving down here, this is my big problem, and I've talked about this time and time again. We're at record highs on the price chart, and some of the oscillators are way up, but the relative strength is only at 68.38. That's lukewarm at best. Looking at this, we have this downward trend line. We haven't broken up through that. So that's a big problem to me. Here, stochastics much the same. The downward trend line's not as steep, but it's still there nonetheless. Now into Williams, this looks great. We've powered all the way up into this overbought territory. Again, we're at a very, very lofty level at a negative 0.73. That is an extreme. Moving on up, one last look. Let's now go take a look at the weekly chart. And moving to the 3-year weekly chart on the spiders, you can see that there's some congestion up at this level here, and oftentimes congestion can lead to a turn in the market, so be careful. Moving down here into the volume is tepid, moving on down pretty sharply. Into the MAC, that doesn't look all that great. We're at a lofty level of 11.562 and 10.255. But the fast line's not powering up very strongly, and neither is the slow line. And given that we're already up here and it seems to be somewhat weak, that's a little bit of a conundrum to me. Into the histogram, definitely much stronger here than it is here. So this is a very tepid move. Down into the price rate of change does not look good with that downward slope. Neither does the relative strength going back to there, downward slope. Not good. Into stochastics, it looks okay. The fast line is powered up into that overbought territory, but it doesn't look to be real strong. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. And then the Williams looks fine. Back up here to the price chart. One last look. Now let's go take a look at the daily chart. And now into the 6-month daily chart, let's draw this channel that we've talked about a number of times. Bottom channel line there and the top channel line through here. So it seems like we're sliding up against that top line here, and we can continue to slide on up. And you look at that and yeah, that's progress. But at the same time, we need to break out of that channel. And I don't know if we have the power, because sooner or later, though, we're going to get turned back down. And then we'll see if we come and bounce off of that bottom channel line. But for the most part, we are moving on up, but it doesn't seem to have a lot of strength behind it. Again, volume, you can see the drop off there. Into the MAC, you can see that the fast line is starting to curve over and head down. So that may indicate that we're going to come on through here, through that slow line and on down, and that's going to bring the price chart. You can see the same thing there in the histogram. Also, price rate of change already came through. Relative strength is weakening. The stochastics looks like it wants to have that fast line pierce through the slow line. And then again, Williams, all of these are looking like they're having a slight topping process. Back on up to the price chart, one last look. And basically, the oscillators are mixed. And in that case, I like to just sit by and watch and see what happened. I wouldn't make any moves, either selling or buying right now. Just stack some cash, save your money for the opportunities that will come. And for today, that's ChewDog Charts. Thank you.